Hello and welcome to my cheesecake and cocktails birthday party. Today I am making Blanche's 40th birthday cheesecake squares and just kind of peeking at the recipe. This isn't a quick thing, so this is going to be a replay. So if you do see this video, go ahead and comment replay. What I have done so far is I have buttered the sides of my pan because it said to butter the sides of my pan even if it's a non-stick pan, and then to get a piece of parchment paper and to cut it like the size to just barely fit inside of the pan. So I have done that. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and then I need to make half a recipe of a graham cracker crust from page 18. Okay, let's see what I need for that. Oh my goodness. Graham crackers, sugar, salt, and then 1 stick of unsalted butter melted and then cooled. So I guess I'll be back. So for this graham cracker crust, it tells me to use a large food processor, but I'm only making half of the graham cracker crust recipe, so I'm gonna do it in the twist and chop and hope that works out, and if it doesn't, I will have learned something today. And then I've got several cheesecakes that I'm gonna make. But for the full size one, I might pull out the blender for doing that. So we shall see. Let's see if I can get a whole packet of graham crackers in here. So it said 18 whole crackers would be for a full batch. So I have got 9 here, which is exactly 1 package. Very convenient. You know how Rachel does. We'll see if this is going to, you know what, maybe I should just chop these down a little bit. Okay. Just at least enough that I can get the last 2 crackers in there, am I right? Okay, and then I need 1/8, because I cut it in half, of sugar, 1/8 of a cup instead of a 1/4 cup, and then 1/8 of a teaspoon instead of a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and now I'm gonna get this all processed up. Okay, and so now I have 1 stick of butter that I melted and then I let it cool. And so I am going to add the melted butter and then process until this looks like a thick, wet sand. We shall find out what the twist and chop can handle here. And it does suggest I stop it a few times and scrape the sides down, so I will do as I am told. It smells delicious. Now, if we're being honest, you guys, you can see I've got this quite full. So I am going to scrape down the sides again because it looks like the graham crackers at the bottom might be a little drier than at the top. And then let me just do this one more little moment. All right, I'm gonna call that good and grab my pan. You guys, I love when I get to learn new things. So I'm gonna put my crust in the pan, and then it told me to take a small glass and wrap it in plastic wrap. And I'm gonna use that to tamp, you guys, to T-A-M-P, tamp the crust down flat into the pan. So that is what we are going to do. So the small glass with a flat bottom that I have is this cute little wine glass from when I went wine tasting with my mom last month. And yeah, we're just gonna do the job here. Oh my goodness. Should have spread this out a little bit better before I started to tamp it down so I can be a little bit more even. Okay, back to tamping. Interesting. I know that the blender has a tool called a tamper, and I wonder if I could have just pulled that out and used this, but yeah, I don't think I've ever used that verb before. But look, you guys, my crust is all tamped into the bottom of my pan. Now I'm gonna bake this in the oven for 10 minutes. You guys, I should have started with a cocktail instead of cheesecake, and I should always read the whole recipe before I start. So my oven is now turned down to 325. My butter and my cream cheese are chilling on top of the stovetop because they were supposed to be room temperature. So I did phone a friend, and Yolanda has given me some ideas on how to expedite that. So I will do that next. Do you guys see how perfect that yolk is? Anywho, I use the egg separator because this recipe requires 1 egg and then 1 additional yolk. So let me go ahead and get my other 1 egg in here. And I'm just using my classic batter bowl, you guys, as my mixing bowl. And then I've got a 1/4 cup of sour cream. And where is my scraper? You guys, you can't have too many scrapers. And I ordered myself a couple extra because I often don't know where I put it or it's dirty when I want it. But look at how much that sour cream just all got cleared out, and this can go in the dishwasher. I love these measure all cups. And then I've got a 1/4 cup of milk, and it says preferably whole. Well, Rachel bought 2%. And then 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now this is my double strength Madagascar pure vanilla. So I only need 2 teaspoons. Thank goodness, because it might be a stretch to even have 2 teaspoons left. All right, 2 teaspoons since it's double strength, thank goodness. And I'm just gonna get this stirred up. And then what do I need to do next? Then I need to mix my ingredients in the stand mixer that are not yet softened. So I will be back. So I did the trick of hot water in a glass bowl, dumping the water out, putting the bowl on top of my cream cheese and my butter, and I would say it's not quite room temperature, but it's softened. And I'm getting a little impatient because I'm gonna have to eventually make dinner here, so I need to get through with this cheesecake. So fingers crossed that this is gonna be okay. So I've got a block of cream cheese and somewhat softened 4 tablespoons of butter. I've got 1/3 cup of sugar. I need 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. And then just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And it tells me to just mix this on low to medium until it is creamy and not lumpy. So I've got my paddle attachment, but I'm gonna do custom because I don't want it to ramp up too high because it told me to kind of keep it low to medium. So we'll just go to 3. We may give this a minute. Okay, you guys, that was only a minute and it looks creamy and lump free to me. So I'm gonna pour in that mixture I made earlier with the egg and the sour cream and the vanilla. You can get that in there. And then I need to mix this on low until it is combined. So yeah, our stand mixer has all these fun presets, but we're just going to just go by hand with these things here. Well, it looked creamy and lump-free until I mixed that in, and now it looks kind of lumpy. So maybe I'll let this go for a while. So I think cheesecake is a skill that I haven't mastered yet, you guys. We'll see how particular this cheesecake wanted to be. So I'm gonna put in 3 tablespoons of sprinkles. And it says just to stir those in with a scraper. So I've got that going on here, and then to pour it into the crust. So I didn't really show you guys my browned crust there, but that looks and smells delicious. So at least I have got that going for me, and I'm gonna scrape every little bit. I don't know if it's supposed to be this runny or if that's because I overmixed because my ingredients were not room temp like they should have been. But you know what? We're gonna see this through, you guys. We are surely gonna see this through. And if this doesn't turn out fabulous, I promise by the end of this week, you guys, I'm gonna be so good at cheesecakes. All right, so then another tablespoon of sprinkles on top. My oven is down to 325 degrees, and then it says I need to bake it for 25 minutes until the edges are set and the center is slightly jiggly. I don't know, you guys. It's supposed to be the edges are set and the center is slightly jiggly. I feel like is that slightly jiggly or is that quite jiggly? Is that slight? All right, I phoned my friends and we did 2 more minutes for good measure. So I am going to let this sit here for 30 minutes while the oven cools down. So you guys, this has to cool in the fridge for 6 hours. So tomorrow I will pull out and slice and show you guys my finished cheesecake. See ya.